What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is definitely going to be a really raw and open episode. I'm giving this video to myself. I'm not chasing anybody to come and watch this, although I am allowing everybody who wants to have access to it to be able to view it. With that being said, let's get into it. I came on here today to talk about the curated versions of ourselves that we put out for people to view when we do allow ourselves to be seen. I'm going to be talking from a first person point of view most of this video because it is directly from me, directly from the source. And my hopes for you is that you can apply this to your own self and kind of reflect and draw from my authenticity in order to be more honest with yourself and make decisions that feel a little bit more grounded in reality moving forward. It doesn't have to happen all at once, but step one is awareness. That's what I'm offering you. By sharing my experience, I'm offering you awareness. Since entering the online space, I've discovered so many aspects about myself because our phones are mirrors and the platforms that we post on are also mirrors. And so I've had a lot of great things reflected back to me that I've been able to appreciate, such as watching different parts of my self-expression come out, witnessing the ideas that come online in my brain after practicing the skill of creating content. And it's shown me different aspects of myself that were kind of under a rock. And it's been so interesting to be able to experience those parts and have other people experience them simultaneously with me. I've also noticed that with the power to be able to curate my presence online, especially with short form content, that it does feel like a safety measure, that I can decide how I share, what I share, and when I share it, and how much of it. And it's an extremely powerful tool. But it also gives me the ability to be able to mask the parts of myself that I've felt a lot of shame around. It's given me the opportunity to not reveal more than I feel safe to. In this aspect, safety isn't about me actually being safe. It's about me feeling safe. And there's a bit of a difference. You can have a child in a swimming pool and you can have both hands on them and they can still feel unsafe even though they're not in any danger. So in this context, when I'm speaking of not sharing more than what I feel safe enough to share, I'm the child with both hands being placed on me, and there isn't actually any danger in revealing these parts of myself or allowing them to be seen, rather. It's more of a mental and cognitive illusion of safety that I'm holding on to. And the truth is, I came to the realization that I have been protecting myself from the uncurated version of me being witnessed. And it has actually done the opposite of protect me. Internally in private, it has made my concept of myself feel rejected. It has subconsciously reinforced the idea that I'm only worthy under certain circumstances. And that is a self-concept dilemma being exposed, which is the point of this journey. It's the point of what I preach about. It's the point of what I am trying to help others instill in themselves. And I feel like to be authentic to my journey, to be authentic to what it is that I'm trying to do, I have to walk it fully at my own pace still, yes, but nevertheless, being courageous enough to do it first in order to encourage people to, carry that same level of courage is a necessity for my authenticity. And so I've noticed that I haven't posted a video in a while when it comes to long form content. And it's not that I don't have any videos. I've been procrastinating, and I think that hesitation is worth paying attention to. And I'm in a place right now where it has to be all or nothing, because all of the pain that I've experienced in this life has taught me that if I've got to suffer, if I've had to suffer, I might as well have something worth holding at the end of all of this. And it might as well be myself. I've repeatedly shown myself in an uncountable amount of ways that I don't like myself, that I don't respect myself, that I don't value me, that I'm not worthy, that I am a failure. And I'm wise enough now to know that these things are not true, but it doesn't take away the damage that was done while I didn't realize that these things weren't true. You can have an abusive partner who is abusive because they don't have the tools to be a better individual. And once they come to the realization that they are extremely harmful and they make the choices to be better, all of the damage that they've done to you doesn't disappear simply because they're on a path to recovery. That damage that was done can never be erased. It exists forever in time. And the only thing that can mend that is curating. The only thing that can mend that or soothe that reality is curating a reality that is the opposite of what you endured, and also acknowledging the existence of the pain. I have to acknowledge the underlying wounds that exist, and I have to pay attention to them and allow other people to witness them without trying to hide them away, because that's the opposite of paying attention to them. I'm subconsciously reinforcing the exact mindset that I'm trying to grow from. And everywhere I go, I take myself with me. Everywhere I go, there I am. And it's extremely hurtful if I acknowledge my feelings inside of myself and I don't allow my brain to filter out these expressions by trying to protect me. Because if I acknowledge those feelings, then that puts me in a position to have to do something about it. And oftentimes, doing something about it is scary because it requires you to witness the parts of yourself that you aren't extremely proud of, because you've been trained not to be proud of them, not because you don't want to be, you just don't know how to. And I think there's something really courageous in saying, I don't know how. I don't know what it looks like yet to do it for me personally. And that's really scary when it's connected to your identity. And when I say I don't know how, I don't mean that you lack the knowledge of how to do it. I don't know how, meaning I don't know how to carry it out. I don't know how it feels to carry it out. And it feels scary to imagine myself doing so. But the only way that I'm going to continue to build the self-concept that I've only witnessed others have, that I've only dreamed about, is to take those scary, shaky steps towards giving my brain the proof that it needs to agree and commit to who I've decided to become. And my identity has been so complex and warped my entire existence that I didn't know what an identity was. I've only tried on different versions that I felt were appropriate or that were correct or that I was expected to wear, but I never actually exercised the autonomy to choose who and how I wanted to be. And the very first identity that I choose is the one that I'm designed with. And that's me. That's my face. That's my natural self-expression. That's the parts of me that are not specially curated for others to view. It's the parts of me that exist because of existence itself. That's the first version of me that I choose. Before I create and curate any identity that I want to associate to me, I have to first have the courage to stand in the one that was designated to me at birth. We all do. Because anything else is a partial or fragmented version of ourselves, and it's not a fully developed concept. And that's what we're trying to alter right now. That's what this page is about. That's what this journey of life is about. It's about creating from the reference point of ourselves, using our identity to create more and to expand those creations into something that can be fruitful for others to eat and for ourselves to continue to grow from. And I've been watching people, practice putting themselves out there and being what other people would categorize as cringe. And they didn't die. Not only that, but I envy the freedom. And I deserve it. I don't deserve it because I earned it. I deserve it because I didn't do anything not to deserve it. Growing up with autism and ADHD has given me the experience of, processing the world in a way that felt very isolating. And that experience shaped a lot of the way I present myself today. Because I didn't see people around me that seemed to process reality the way that I did, I was forced to adapt to what seemed like the right thing to do. So I lived life from a place of correctness rather than authenticity. I lived life from a place of trying to do what I think is supposed to be done rather than what feels right. In a lot of ways, I do like that aspect of myself, if I'm being honest, the aspect of me being able to find what the appropriate thing is. But I think that heavily relying on searching for the appropriateness causes of distortion and clarity and honesty. And sometimes the appropriateness, the appropriate response, or the appropriate way to do something isn't always the most honest or accurate one when when you're putting it in when putting it in certain contexts. And my body was subconsciously tallying all of the suppression that I was doing to it by trying to be correct, that it started to suffocate and feel extremely rejected and depressed. It reflected that depression through stress, and I coped with that stress through self-harm and addictions. I coped with it through a large amount of disassociation And I carried the weight of that reality for a very long time. And now I'm in a place where I'm not addicted and I'm not harming myself intentionally. um, where I'm doing the exact opposite. And for the first time in a long time, I'm not doing it from a place of wanting to be correct or wanting to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing it from a place of genuine self nurture, from a genuine desire to care for myself, from a deep weariness of feeling uncared for, not by just others, but me. And so today's video is about caring for myself. It's about doing things without expecting any reward from outside energy. It's about being the reward. It's about doing and doing being the reward. And hopefully, as a byproduct, it could be a bonus that me doing that can assist another individual. But this is me. And I'm grateful to myself for giving me permission to be. And the currency that I'm generating from this one video alone is something that cannot be taken from me. I'm currently building an internal reservoir of currency that I will use to build the life that I've not even had the capacity to dream of. And I hope that you do too. That's all for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.